Hey guys, I generally don't do this sort of thing, but I thought I'd do it today because it's just kind of pissing me off. I'm hating Adelaide drivers. I cannot stand Adelaide drivers. I'm beginning to hate this city more and more because of how stupid people are on these freaking roads. I mean, they don't understand the simplest road rules, and it's just getting a joke. It is so, like, I can understand why road rage is so freaking bad, because I mean, the cops clearly don't do anything. They prefer just to sit there with their radar gun pointing it at people rather than actually getting people for well, off the top of my head, an actual major one, which is and the signs are there posted. Like, for example, on the expressway, on the south part of Adelaide, on the expressway there, it is keep left unless overtaking. So why does everyone in Adelaide sit in the right lane, not going anywhere? Or why do we sit on 70 kilometers an hour instead of 100, which is the speed limit? Like, how hard is it to do what you're meant to do? Like, it blows my mind that it's just so simple to do some of the things and you don't do it. Like, every time I get in the car to go for a drive, it's just so frustrating to do anything because you've got so many stupid people that can't follow the simplest of road rules. Like today, I was coming back from the city. I had to overtake people in the left-hand lane because people were sitting on the right-hand lane. They were blocking it off because someone way up the front decided that they were going to do 90 in a 100 zone and were holding it up for everybody else. But no, it's good when two people sit side by side when there's only a double lane, when no one can go anywhere and they're maybe doing 90 to 95 kilometers an hour. That's what people want. They want to get home, and this is where accidents happen. Is where people get frustrated, they start putting their foot down, and that's how accidents actually happen. By driving people to go slower will cause people to get frustrated and angry, and that's when people will lose their cool and will cause them to have an accident. But yet cops don't seem to do anything. And that brings me to my other point. I pulled onto the expressway today, and when you first pull on the expressway, there was 3 lanes, I believe. 3 lanes. I was in the left-hand lane. I pulled over to the middle lane. I was trying to get to the right-hand lane because immediately when you get on the expressway, it goes straight into a 100 kilometre zone. Generally, I try and get straight into 100 kilometres an hour so that I can, well, get to A to B, get to my destination. I mean, it's quite simple, really. And so I got in the middle lane because the car that was in front of me in the left lane was doing 70 kilometers an hour and clearly wasn't speeding up. So I moved over to the middle lane. I couldn't get over in the right-hand lane. I had to wait because the cars that were in the right-hand lane were flying past. So obviously, clearly they were doing 100 or more, whatever, doesn't matter. Either way, they were doing what they were meant to be doing for a bit. Now, I emphasise this, they were only doing it for a bit. It almost seemed as if that the person at the front of the line must have been speeding, because suddenly they all decided they were going to hit the brake, and I think they slowed virtually down to 90 kilometres an hour, because I pulled over in the right-hand lane. Oh no, sorry, I didn't quite pull over in the right. I was just about to pull over in and realised that the car that had just passed me in the right-hand lane, I had now caught up to, and I was now side by side with. And I thought, okay, this is odd. Now that lane has slowed down, and I couldn't pull over. So I'm stuck in the middle lane. The left lane's not going anywhere. We're doing, I think, about 90 kilometres roughly in the middle lane and couldn't do anything in the right lane because they were clearly doing slower, and I couldn't work out why. Then I saw the cop car that was parked in the middle of the frickin' expressway. I thought, oh great, okay. So not only did people obviously look at the cop and go, oh, I'm speeding, and hit the frickin' brake, but they hit the brake too much to the point that they slowed the right-hand lane down. Now, people, you are allowed to accelerate to 100. You're allowed to go to 105 even. Like, you're not going to be done for 105. You are allowed to overtake. You are allowed to overtake. Like, get that through your thick skulls. You are allowed to overtake. But slowing down to 90 kilometers an hour on a freaking expressway is so f***ing stupid. And what did this cop do? Nothing. He did nothing. No. I don't think he even had his radar gun out. I'm pretty sure the radar gun wasn't even out. I'm pretty sure the car was just parked there as a scare tactic to make people slow down. I mean, he was in the car, but he wasn't doing anything. But yet, there was about 10 cars, at least 10 cars, in that right-hand lane, blocking people from actually doing the right thing by overtaking people because all of them were doing under the speed limit. That pisses me off because I was one of those people, and by no means I am not a perfect driver, and by no means I'm one of these people that is perfect at following the road rules all the time. I'm definitely not, but I can follow a simple road rule like keeping the left-hand lane and less overtaking. If I'm in an expressway, sometimes, yes, I will sit in the right-hand lane if I've got a right-hand turn coming up. But if there's cars behind me, I will be in the left-hand lane. Definitely. I will do the right thing. I will pull out and pull back to the left-hand lane so if there's people going faster than me can get past so that they can overtake me. That is the biggest thing. It is an overtaking lane. That is what it is there for. It is not there as a cruising lane, people of Adelaide. Now, I've driven briefly in Sydney and traffic is hectic there, so I'm not really going to comment too much on that because I haven't done enough. I've driven in Melbourne. In Melbourne, they seem to understand that the left-hand lane is your cruising lane. Your right-hand lanes are generally your overtaking lane. You'll get the odd person that will be stupid enough that will sit out in the right lane, but here is just a joke. Here you'll get person after person that'll just sit in the right-hand lane. I mean, your truckies are starting to frickin' sit in the right-hand lane and not overtake. I can understand when they're actually doing the overtaking, but they're not even doing that now. They're actually the ones sitting in the lane blocking traffic. It's ridiculous. I'm getting sick of driving in Adelaide. Every single time I go for a drive, I get so enraged because of how stupid people are, and it's just infuriating. Like, follow the road rules, people. It's not hard. Like, if you can't drive, get off the road. Like, it's ridiculous. And for the coppers out there, how about doing your job? Like, clearly, on an expressway or any overtaking road where it has a sign that says, well, any road that's over 70 kilometers an hour, if it clearly says keep left unless overtaking, well, if someone is not keeping left, that is your job to I don't know, fine them because they're not, I don't know, following the road rules. I mean, fuck people. I mean, is that just me? Like, it feels like it's just me. It feels like it all the time. It feels like it's just me. Like, I feel like I'm the only one that seems to notice this happening. The other thing I've noticed, it's not quite I wouldn't say it's as bad as the overtaking, but it's definitely... What does a green light mean, people? What does a green light mean? Think about it for a sec. It actually means, I don't know, go. Put the foot on the accelerator and accelerate. Seems pretty simple. You'd think so. The amount of people that I get stuck behind obviously don't understand that concept because, I don't know, the amount of times it seems like the people that I'm behind are asleep at the wheel. I mean, I don't know what they're doing, like having a game of poker. Are they playing on their phone? I mean, doing their hair? What the hell are they doing? I mean, it's not hard. I mean, the lights sometimes, definitely here in Adelaide, are so badly timed. It's so horrible. But it's not hard to pay attention to the light, to know that, okay, my turn's coming up shortly. And I mean, it's insane. Like, it is crazy that it's just the simplest little things that people... I mean, if you're like a split second because you've dropped something on the floor, that's fine. But I mean, like, you're going 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, and they're still sitting there. And then you're going, all right, that's it. All right, wake up. Hello, it's green. And then because the lights are that bad, I mean, I generally try not to beat people. I try and give them the benefit of the doubt. But when I've got cars behind me and it feels like they're beeping me because you haven't moved, that you're in front of me, it kind of pisses me off. So, yeah, it's just insane. It is so ridiculous. Like, it should not be this bad, like, at all. I've got enough crap to deal with without going for a daily drive, and having morons on the road that don't know simple road rules or simple road courtesy. I'm always courteous on the road. If someone is trying to get out of a driveway and we're backed up, I will let them in. I'll even let 2 cars in. I will try and be as courteous as possible because at the end of the day, I do not want my car smashed up. I'm not driving a piece of crap rust bucket that mummy and daddy bought me. I earned my car. I saved. I put my money and paid off my car. It's mine. I own it, not the bank. It's all mine. And I don't want some idiot slamming into me because they're impatient. And I know I sound impatient when it comes to pretty much anything I've said. And yeah, sometimes I feel impatient when I'm on the road just trying to get to 100 kilometers an hour, say, on an expressway. But at the end of the day, I shouldn't have to complain about doing a speed limit. I mean, that does not make sense at all. No sense at all. Mental. Absolutely crazy. But don't worry, I got footage. There's footage to go along with this to catch all these dicks, so that it's not just me exaggerating. You can see every one of these morons doing everything that I've just said. It's an epidemic of dipshits that should not have a license. I mean, in this day and age, probably most of them don't have a license. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Well, sorry, that's my rant.
Yeah, as you can see, I'm in the middle lane. The left lane is travelling faster than the right lane at the moment. So this is where I change into the left lane to overtake, because clearly the right lane isn't doing what it's meant to be doing. And then suddenly the left lane slows down, which is really handy. And this is basically when I start to looking for my area to start moving across into the center lane without obviously being too impatient or cutting anybody off. The last thing I want to do is cause any road rage to anybody else. And then I get stuck behind a car that's only doing between 70-75 kilometers an hour. So I move across. I'm still doing about 80. Now the right lane is picked up speed. It looks like they're doing probably close to 100. And then it starts to slow down. And that would be the reason why that cop's sitting right there. So here I am just cruising in the right lane. Just cruising quite nicely at the moment. Overtaking a couple of cars. And then the car in front of me just starts braking for no reason. Like they constantly start tapping the brake. Like there's one. I don't know idea why. So they start slowing down, basically forcing me to have to overtake them in the left lane. Yet clearly there's a fair bit of distance between them and the next car in front of them. So I got no idea what they were doing. But then you can see that whole line of cars all just sitting in the right lane. A whole heap of them just sitting there in the right lane while there's two lanes right here. So here I am overtaking all of these cars in the left lanes. How ridiculous. Unbelievable.